Alright, I've said it a million fucking times, boys. Let's do it. Let's go. You, Maxwell Hill. Ghislaine Maxwell, ruler of Reddit for 12 years. Let's go. No one will go here. I dare to. I have nothing left to lose. Paul Weisopel's after me. He's coming for me. If you see this man, you have to say, "Hey Timothy," and see if he reacts, and you have to videotape it, okay? You have to videotape it. We have to show the world. Unless they've already done Paul in. Paul, where are you? I'm concerned for your safety, brother. You've been in all these weird places. Anyway, you Maxwell Hill, we're gonna stay on topic today, okay? Ready? Focus. Okay, so, as I've said, guys, I think, this is all in my opinion, right? This is just my opinion. I think that Ghislaine Maxwell was probably the most powerful Redditor of all time. There's a lot of evidence, like, not proving that, but, like, lining up with that. No news agency will touch it because they're cowards, and I don't care. So let's go. Here's the original post with the evidence of you Maxwell Hill being Ghislaine Maxwell. The post was featured in an article by the Daily Mail. I have edited this post for corrections, blah blah blah. I'm now certain the account was operated by you Maxwell Hill. I'm also certain of it too. Okay, you Maxwell Hill is a lead moderator of many huge subs, including World News, Politics, and Our Technology. User has since been removed from Politics and Technology subs. World, too little, too late. User is a Redditor since 2006, first one to collect 1 million karma, the first one, and now the 12th most linked karma, 8th when posts ceased, and a charter member. Okay boys, I'm gonna nip something right in the bud, ready? Because I don't want to hear a single person who says, "Oh, rich people, why would they bother being on Reddit? What, they have things that they're doing." No, rich people have nothing but time. They are not like us. They do not toil. They do not sit around and waste their days getting a yacht for their boss, you know? They have nothing but time. And then, also, I'm sure that we're going to get into this in the article, but Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was Robert Maxwell. He was basically the Rupert Murdoch of the, 70s in England and stuff. So, of course, that Mossad spy who was running a conservative news agency, of course his daughter would say, "I need to get in on the world news aggregator." Because for a very long time, guys, if you were on Reddit, you were the first person hearing everything. And all news just started aggregating from Reddit. So, a moderator on Reddit who had the most link karma and had the most power of a person on Reddit, besides a person who literally created it, I'm sure, was able to delete any post they didn't want, was able to delete, change any topic, edit anything that they want, do whatever they want on the biggest subreddits in the world, okay? So, do not miss me with that. I don't want to hear that, "Oh, rich people they have better stuff to do." No, this is all they do. All they do is play games with us. And I need everyone to see that, okay? Okay, moving on. So let's look at this evidence. 12th most. You Maxwell. Okay, so now she's the 18th most because this is like 2 years old. That's insane. She hasn't posted since she went to jail, and she's the 18th most link karma in the world. Okay. Maxwell Hill was a very active Reddit user and produced highly upvoted posts there has been no posting at all since Ghislaine Maxwell's arrest. The evidence: posts nearly every day for 14 years up until Maxwell's arrest. Gaps in posting line up with Maxwell's mother's death. Dude, this is amazing. 91. You Maxwell Hill subbed it 4 days ago and 1 day ago. Oh my god, yeah, so she just didn't post on when her mom died. Dude, that's amazing. Okay. And then, guess when? And then Kleiner Perkins party, which I think where former Reddit CEO Ellen K. Powell reported seeing Maxwell, and the Terra Mar Project speech. Yep, see, because Ghislaine was running some weird Terramar company where they were like, "We're gonna save the ocean," which I'm sure was just used to do king trafficking. Okay, user claims to be born in December, and Wikipedia shows December 25th is the birthday for Maxwell. I guess I'm doomed. Born in December. Yeah, okay. You little weirdo. posts articles about why we should legalize child exploitation material. Yike-a-ronies, guys. Ooh, ay caramba. 3 strong reasons child pee should be re-legalized in the coming decade. Yikes. You Maxwell Hill? That's a weird opinion. For those of you who don't feel like clicking on some a-hole's blog post advocating the legalization of child pee, let me break that into 3 points. Banning child pee stops the persecution of child R. Yikes. Okay, we can't read that. Moving on. Account spams strictly liberal propaganda but doesn't seem to have mentioned anything about Epstein related. See, guys, this is where the control, this is where the being able to moderate stuff away comes into play. So anytime that you've been like trying to look for stuff on Epstein, you're like, where is it? It used to be on Reddit. She probably got rid of it. Anyway, gripes about overzealous child protection laws. Girl steps in front of a man car, he grabs her arm and lectures her about traffic safety. Result is now. Yikes. Leave those kids alone, lest you feel the wrath of the law. I feel we are taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. On the one hand, we wish to protect the children from the grimy hands of yikes. And here, look at this libertarian of people piles. She's like, oh, we should. What else do libertarians say? I think that's all they talk about. Inform those with good intent to stay clear of the same children we wish to nurture into good citizens. Do we really want to head down this path? Oh, brother. Discusses moderator of our environment and small subreddit. Many posts about ocean protection, the Terramar project. And so that's just like PR for herself. Maxwell Hill may be a combination of her surname and the family estate in the UK, Headington Hill Hall. Dude, look at where she grew up. Come on, brother. Oh, brother. Come on, brother. Man. You've got to stop, brother. Look at this. We have to stop these people. They can't. Dude, look at this haunted house. Look at this. No wonder she does what she does. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude. Okay, anyway. Maxwell Hill, account spams. Oh, we did that. User is not some other person from Malaysia, as our world news mods have said here and here. I don't moderate world news. You can say without a doubt that Max is not. Oh, sorry. Max is not Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, that's very convenient coming from a Reddit mod. A Reddit mod. Remember, guys, Reddit has now been deemed Reddit. Oh, brother. Says she only visited Malaysian countries. Right, I believe in the same, especially the Chinese in Singapore and Malaysia, where their parents are driven by some innate fear that their children might not make it in education. When I visited those countries several years ago, the school kids are enrolled into private tuition centers after schools for certain subjects. I doubt any of them have time to play with their friends. Dude, see, they're always involved with the schools. I think it's the art schools. It's the art schools, guys. Look into the art schools. All the weird art schools. And Interlochen. And there's a place in Baltimore, too, that I'm looking up. There's this weird guy. It's like a DA. It's kind of like Bill Barr's situation, where Bill Barr's dad was the head of this place called Dalton, and then he hired Jeffrey Epstein. Well, this dude in Baltimore is literally working there, and his dad was also the head of like a private girls' school or something, and he's got weird shady ties, and they're doing weird stuff with the court system. I'm working on something. It's coming. Okay. Anyway. Screw all these guys. I'm so done with all these guys. If my end is near, I'm taking them all down with me. I mean, not with me. I'm not going down. Screw you, Paul. You did the OKC and then you thought you could be a FBI agent? No. Okay, back to Ghislaine. We're staying on topic, guys. Maxwell AMA strongly suggests user is British. Stats male age. Yeah, so that's the thing, is that she was obviously trying to pretend that her alias is a man. And that lines up with Ghislaine. Like, she's very like Epstein brained. Like Truanon was talking about this. They like literally, she was like, oh, we should make mice, you know, computer mice, we should make them like sexy, and we should make them look like breastises, and then we should make the toggle thing be the nib, you know? And she's like, it's all they think about, these people. Like, get a hobby that isn't king trafficking, you know? Anyway. Okay, user... Dude, this is awesome. User was accused of corruption, auto-deleting mentions of their own account, and more. Article, meet the Reddit power user who helped bring down our technology. Maxwell Hill was one of Reddit's first and most important users, has now become the site's own worst enemy. One of the first moderators of default subreddits. Our politics, our technology, and our world news. Yeah, those are default. They're built in when you start an account. That's what it opens up to. Maxwell Hill joined Reddit 8 years ago and immediately made sure each forum featured links to hundreds of news stories a month. This was crucial for Reddit, whose co-founders Alexis Ohanian and Steve Huffman were eager to have people contribute with their own link sharing website, with top posts to each of these 3 subreddits appearing on Reddit's front page. And as the first subreddits each new Reddit user was subscribed to when they signed up, it was important for the site to look busy. Okay, obliviously aware of the cries of censorship, Maxwell Hill began approving and removing moderators at a rapid pace in an apparent effort to calm the brewing storm and strip other mods of their permissions. One of the Redditors Maxwell Hill added Thursday was Ann Utensil, a controversial world news moderator and former politics mod who had been described as poisonous rot that makes any team operate in a negative environment. Probably a Mossad agent. Just like you, Maxwell Hill, I bet. Okay, there, the end of the moderation philosophy spectrum and the Reddit Pope are on the opposite end. So yeah, see all these, change these permissions and adding all these new people, probably just a bunch of fed bots. Reddit administrators were fed up, having seen similar drama on politics last summer under the tutelage of the same 2 moderators. Yeah, they're just troublemakers, and they're just abusing our third places and stuff, you know? This is BS. Man, free these websites. You can't block you, Maxwell Hill. That's hilarious. There's a couple people you can't block on TikTok too, right? The user account was scrubbed of P-word, things after. Dude, I love you computer nerds. Posted investigative research showing G. Maxwell is a longtime Redditor curating content. I have not confirmed Reddit scrubbed the 3-year-old comment. So yeah, look, people use the Wayback Machine and they saw that these things were deleted. They're deleting her comments regarding P-word live as we speak. This literally got deleted when I refreshed the page accidentally. It's unreal. I've not confirmed Reddit scrubbed the 3-year-old comment. However, I typed in the link posted to see what it was. I got a 404 error. Found the page was archived from the Wayback Machine, including a capture a few days ago. Okay, another Anon found this 13-year-old thread from 2000 of Thebophilia. It's today's word and it matters. Dude, this is such a libertarian thing. Oh my god. Dude. Here's a real winner. She posted to World News entitled Volkvinge 3 Strong Reasons Child P Must Be Legalized. You guys obviously understand this is big news, but I don't think you understand how big of news this is. If Reddit admins knowingly gave control of Reddit's front page, essentially, to Ghislaine Maxwell for the last 10 years, that means, 1, they considered G. Maxwell important for 9 years before J.E. entered a public consciousness in 2019. 2, Reddit's executives are implicated by P-Gate, and this will probably lead to the shutdown of Reddit itself. 3, one of the largest left-leaning news sites in the entire world was managed by a global P-ring and Mossad, and probably the LDS Church. So that's awesome, guys. Let's see. It's a key player on Reddit when it was purchased by the known Epstein associates Condé Nast. Yup. Maxwell Hill, Jason Callan Canis, and Reddit connections. Maxwell Hill created their account on March 11, 2006, and in the Gizmodo interview, they mentioned the Reddit founders by name. Yeah, dude, because they're frickin' friends. Reddit then sold to Condé Nast on October 31st, 2006, roughly 7 months after Maxwell Hill created their account. Condé Nast are the owners of Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair published their infamous article, The Talented Mr. Epstein, in 2003, notably because Condé Nast execs interfered with the content of the already puffy article to put Epstein in an even better light. Here's some discussion from this sub. The creepiest part of this article, in retrospect, is the tidbit about having a really gross, not safe for work book by the Marquis de Sade on his desk. It's almost as if Ward and others knew or suspected more than they let on and were tossing in Easter eggs for us commoners to latch onto, similarly to the Larry Salonio with Eyes Wide Shut. Dude, the breaks in her post history line up with Madeleine McCann's. Dude, we gotta look into Madeleine McCann too, because yeah, did you guys know this? Look at this. Look at this picture. This is the frickin'... This is a woman that was suspected of taking Madeleine McCann. Look at that woman. Who is that? I know who that is. Gone from 5'2" to 5'9". Dude, that is kooky. That's so weird. Come on. And look, dude. The U.S. Attorney's Office prepares to present the case to a federal grand jury. Epstein's attorneys request a meeting to discuss the investigation. Then what happened? So you guys are freaking telling me right now that this person, Maxwell Hill, posted like multiple times every freaking day and moderated the F out of Reddit, fed it for so long, every freaking day, except for the day that, a couple days that Madeleine McCann got taken, and the freaking time that she went to prison. Well, okay, when was this last post? 4 years ago. Oh, brother. Tuesday, July 30th, 2020. When was Ghislaine arrested? Ghislaine Maxwell arrest. Oh no. June 25th. Well, close enough. Oh, brother. Someone got into her account, I guess.
Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested on
the Internet Investigator.
2nd of July 2020. Subscribe and turn on notifications in 1990. Be sentenced in June this year. On the 12th of March 2006, almost exactly a year after the investigation into Jeffrey began, a Reddit account was created under the name Maxwell Hill, we'll call them Max, and it would go on to become one of the most successful users on the site. They were the first user to ever reach 1 million karma and have since amassed over 15 million karma, meaning they currently have the 12th highest link karma and the 14th highest combined karma of all time, despite being inactive for over a year and a half at this point. They are or were a moderator of the following subreddits: world news, environment, politics, technology, humour, travel, bad cop no donut, cyber laws, enviro-action, and greed, among others. They were a Reddit celebrity if such a thing exists. They had articles written about them and made it to number 1 on Gizmodo's list of the 25 most viral people on the internet in 2011. With great power comes great responsibility though, and Max seemed more interested in their own content than actually running the subreddits they moderated. They were partly responsible for technology and politics being removed as default subreddits, as rather than do their mod job properly, they decided to rapidly add and remove a number of moderators, notably bringing back a controversial mod who was described as poisonous rot that makes any team operate in a negative environment. This was after they had resorted to filtering out all posts with certain keywords, including Maxwell Hill, though Max was still able to make posts with those words. It's worth noting that some users have claimed that they weren't able to block Max and that their posts still showed up if they tried to hide them, though I can't verify that. When it became clear that the mods of technology were not working together for the sake of the community, the admins removed it from the defaults until, quote, you can manage to look past your petty squabbles, add new moderators, and function as a team. Furthermore, Max was accused of deleting posts they disagreed with, banning people for criticising them, even on subreddits they didn't moderate, and I even found a couple of doxing allegations. Max posted so often on subs like World News that they controlled most of the narrative, and that could answer the question of why Ghislaine might bother wasting time on Reddit. Having such an influence could be useful. Although Max was a controversial figure, they interacted on the site without arousing much suspicion until a couple of years ago, shortly after Ghislaine's arrest, when a post was made on 4chan suggesting that Max might actually be her. The most obvious similarity is the username, which is Ghislaine's surname plus Hill, which could be a reference to Headington Hill Hall, her family's mansion in Oxford, or her father's surname at birth, Hock, which doesn't directly translate from German to hill according to Google Translate, but is a name given to someone who lived in an area of high land. Alternatively, it could have been inspired by McGraw-Hill, the name of a company that Robert's company merged with years ago. This might seem a bit too on the nose, and you might wonder why Ghislaine would be stupid enough to use her own name.
They hide in plain
sight. For the most part, the posts made by Max were relatively inconspicuous, ambiguous. It's not like they were openly advocating for the abuse of children, and they weren't frequenting jailbait or any other questionable subreddits, at least on that account. The account was created nearly 16 years ago too, and back then people weren't quite as concerned about doxing as they are today. It was still safer not to use your real name, but many did anyway. During the time that Ghislaine was laying low before her arrest, she changed her email, used a different name for deliveries, and registered a new phone number under the name G-Max. If that's her idea of a pseudonym, I certainly wouldn't be surprised if she used a surname for a Reddit account created so long ago. In 2007, Max said this in a comment: "I believe hiding your name defeats the purpose of being a Redditor. If you need to disguise yourself in order to hoard karma points, then you are better off not being part of the community, because you can't seriously be enjoying yourself." That suggests that their username might be part of their real name, as they weren't openly giving a different name, but if they're not Ghislaine, they could literally just be called Maxwell Hill. Despite numerous posts about Donald Trump and other relevant news over the years, it seems that Max only mentioned Jeffrey Epstein a couple of times, and as far as I'm aware, never mentioned Ghislaine. Considering how big that news was, you'd think they would jump on that and link articles as soon as there were any updates. It would be a sure way to gain even more karma. Gaps in the user's post history have also been highlighted, most notably the fact that they haven't posted since 2 days before Ghislaine was arrested. This also happened to be the date that around 2,000 subreddits that promoted hate based on identity or vulnerability were banned, including the Donald and Gender Critical, so it has alternatively been speculated that Max quit out of protest, as some other moderators did at the time. I don't see any reason why they do that though. They didn't frequent any of the banned subreddits, many of them were alt-right, and Max seemed to be left-leaning, considering they were accused of censoring content they didn't agree with on the subreddits they moderate.
Don't they always like to pretend that they're left-leaning, huh? It's almost like it's because left-leaning ideas are very, very popular.
They weren't exactly a bastion of free speech either. Other gaps include 3 days when Ghislaine's mother died in 2013, and during the time she attended a Kleiner Perkins party in 2011, where former Reddit CEO Ellen Powell claimed on Twitter to have seen her. As a side note, Ellen's tweet is sometimes cited as proof that Ghislaine was in with the Reddit staff, but it wasn't a Reddit party, and this was before Ellen became the CEO, so unless I'm missing something, I don't see how it's got anything to do with Reddit staff. If anything, the tweet reflects badly on Kleiner Perkins, as Ellen claims they were aware of the allegations, but those who managed the guest list didn't seem to care. Anyway,
Yep, they didn't care.
contrary to what some
I think that was that party that that we have a picture of Ghislaine and Elon. This party. I think this is it. Possibly. But yeah. LOL. Goofies.
and mentioned a sarnie and pint of beer, all of which are common words in the UK. One exception I noticed is the word colour, which Max sometimes spells.
Yeah, she would always spell things with like the O-U-R version, like colour.
C-O-L-O-U-R, the British spelling, and other times C-O-L-O-R, the American spelling. They also made a lot of posts relevant to American culture. This would make sense if Ghislaine was Max, because she grew up in Britain and is also an American citizen. Max themselves claim to have worked in the UK at one point though, which might explain how they picked up some British lingo. Other details they've given about themselves include that they're a 40-year-old man, which could be a red herring to avoid being identified, and so could the claim that they worked in Britain. Max once said that they were born in December after the 21st, which lines up with Ghislaine's birthday on the 25th of December. I'm not putting too much weight into anything they said about themselves though, because there's a good chance that some of those things are true and some aren't, but we have no idea which bits are true and which aren't. In July 2020, a mod shared a screenshot of his conversation with Max after the Ghislaine theory began circulating, to prove that they were still active after Ghislaine's arrest. This is probably the most credible evidence against the theory, but it's not definitive. People can do Photoshop images all the time, and admins are able to send messages from any account as far as I'm aware, so if they had a reason to want to make it look like Max isn't Ghislaine, they absolutely could have done that. That does sound a little far-fetched without any solid evidence, but it's not like the admins and various moderators haven't been known to enable shady behaviour on the site, but the simple assertion that someone of her status definitely wouldn't adds nothing to the discussion.
Exactly.
If she is Max, the amount of time she spent on Reddit is a bit surprising, but not impossible, especially considering she mostly just posted links for articles that she probably read anyway.
What do rich people
She didn't comment
do?
much, and by all
What do rich people do? They got nothing but time, dog.
accounts didn't spend much time actually moderating subreddits. Regardless, Ghislaine has described herself as an internet operator in the past. She just didn't specifically say she was a Reddit power mod. If she was, perhaps she just enjoys using the site, but as mentioned earlier, having such an influence on such a popular site could be used to her advantage. Her father was a media tycoon, and when his company merged with McGraw-Hill, it formed America's second largest textbook publisher, so in a way, her being a power
Guys, all I do is spit facts machines.
mod would be following in his footsteps, especially considering Reddit and social media sites are increasingly replacing traditional news outlets.
I pre-watched this. What is that called? I remote viewed pre-watched this. I didn't watch it. I just saw it in my head.
Interestingly, when Max communicated via emails with Gizmodo, he made it clear they were actively trying to be number one on Reddit. Here are a few excerpts. Then the top 5 Redditors left to work for Jason Calcanis and AOL, paid to provide content. I saw an opportunity in the hole left behind by the top 5, so I decided to focus my energy on becoming number 1 on Reddit. The advent of subreddits was great because they allowed me to hone in on a particular audience, but between digging up links and moderating, I was stretched thin. I just didn't have room to read and comment as much as I would like, hence my dismal comment karma. These days, I spend about 3 to 4 hours a day on Reddit. I'm also busy with a potential business venture that is taking a large part of my time, but I try to squeeze in the odd link when I have the time.
Terramar.
That was in late 2011, and it might be worth pointing out that Ghislaine founded the Terramar project in 2012, but that had been the business venture that was taking up a lot of time. So we've covered some of the evidence on both sides, and while I'm not 100% convinced, there are enough similarities between Ghislaine and Max to make a somewhat compelling argument that they might be one and the same.
But yeah, anyway, I mean, come on, guys. What else is she gonna do, you know? Where does she go? There she is. There she is. Our boo. What's going on back here? Ooh. I don't know. Where does this lead? Where does this all lead, Timothy? We're gonna find out. Okay, stay tuned. Bye. Ghislaine Maxwell is you, Maxwell Hill. I'm gonna call it. Hey, if anyone wants to correct me, let me know. I'll retract. I'll delete this video if I'm wrong. Come on, Ghislaine. Have your people reach out.